Welcome back to the ETF Inspector. It's Friday, July 11th, and this will be the video for the 3 Roundhill weekly paying funds, 0 DTE funds, the NASDAQ Innovation 100, which is QDTE, the S&P 500, that's XDTE, and the Russell 2000 RDTE. Before we go into the information, just letting you know, on X, I let you know when videos are coming out, premiering, and as far as these Roundhill funds, as soon as I find the trades throughout the day, I post it just in case anybody likes to try to trade along with them. You're probably not trading the quantity, but you could still choose the same strike prices if you wanted to. That's not financial advice. I've thought about doing it. I might do it one day. We'll see. But and just in case, it seems like maybe people are thinking, since they see the same thumbnail, that they've already seen the video. I might have to start changing it up some, but I do change the date each time, and I'll update the color based on whether the fund went up or down. But please help get the word out that we're covering these, because not getting a lot of attention, even though there's a whole lot of people invested here. So if we take a look at the 3 funds, everything was red. NASDAQ 100 was down 0.21%, while QDTE went down about half as much, 0.1%. So the fund outperformed the larger index. The S&P was down 0.33%. XDTE was down 0.22%, so again outperformed. And the Russell 2000 was down about 1.25%, and the RDTE was down just under 1%. So all 3 seems like they're going to outperform these indexes when they go down. So let's take a look at the trades. We'll start on the trade. Yeah, we'll start on the trades. Okay. So now we've got the entire week here for QDTE. We've already talked about Monday through Thursday. Friday's trade, they selected 22,810. QDT ended at 22,780, so that's below the strike of 810. So it did not cost anything to close these out, and we kept all $900,000 that we collected. So this was a nice week as far as they won every single trade this week. It resulted in $3 million of profit for QDTE, but when we take that and divide it out among the 22,190,000 shares, they only profited 14 cents per share. Now, I'm not telling you that that's going to be the distribution. For starters, there's a 2-week hold, so the money they made this week is not what determines next week's distribution. It determines the following week's. But so I don't have, since this was my first week following them, I don't have the prior week's information. So what I did, for starters, if you have QDTE, you got your 23.7 cents per share today deposited. So now we're making our guesstimate for what next week's will be, the declaration on 7/16. What I did was I averaged the last month's distribution. So I take a look at QDTE, went down to their distributions, and took the last month's and averaged them all out, and it resulted in almost 23 cents, 22.9367. So that's the best I can give you right now, seeing as how I don't have the trade information from the prior weeks. I also still need to find information on whether they attempt to pay a certain percentage or IV. Let's say they lose money or they don't make enough money. But so my guess is next week's going to be around 23 cents. And we know they made 14 cents a share for the following week, so we'll just, as we go, we'll learn and find out. In 2 weeks from now, if they declare 14 cents, then we know we did pretty good. Also, right, that's 14 cents per share based on 22 million, but there may be more shares or less shares by the time we get there, so it may fluctuate based on that. But based on the fact that they are paying a pretty consistent, 22, 23, 24 cents, I've got a feeling that they aim to pay a certain amount regardless of whether they make it or not. Okay, next up is XDTE for the S&P. Here's their entire week's worth of trades. They had one day that they lost their trade. Today's was a win, and this was a risky win, right? So if you take a look, 62.60. Take a look at the S&P. I'm not sure if they sold it right at market open. That'd be a heck of a risk they took selling it right there. I'm guessing somewhere in this early morning drop is when they sold the 62.60. But as you can see, multiple times. So I talked to them on the phone. They said they do not intraday trade. So once they sell it, they are not gonna close it in the same day. I bet if they did, they would have closed it as it ran past 62.60 there, or there, or there, or there. So it actually worked in our favor because they ended 62.59.75. It was 25 cents below the strike price. Talk about perfection. Couldn't have picked a better strike price. Collected $828, got to keep every bit of it. $534,000 profit. Only had one losing trading day. Resulted in $1.3 million in profits trading for the week. Divided amongst the 9,055,000 shares, that comes out to 15 cents per share. Again, that's not for next week. That would be for the week after that. So the way that we made the estimate for this coming distribution declaration on Wednesday is we averaged, like we did on the last month's worth. So if you have the fund, you got your 25.3 cents deposited in your account per share today, and I am guesstimating that you're going to get about 24.8 cents next week. All right. As you can see, funds dropped slightly. And finally, RDTE for the Russell 2000. Today's strike price was sold, the call was sold at 22.55. If we take a look at how the Russell did, we said 22.55, right? 22.55. The stock started there. The index started about 22.50, went down and never came back. So this was a no sweat. They won it from the start and didn't have to worry about it all day. $268,000 profit. I would call it a perfect week. Not perfect in that they got the perfect strikes, but they didn't have a single losing day. Profitable every day. Can't beat that. $887,000 profit divided amongst the 40,050,000 shares. That comes to 22 cents per share. So that goes really right along with close to what they pay, 26, 25. So if you have the fund, you got 26 cents in your account per share today, and the average for the last month is just under 26. You might as well call it 26 cents a share. So that's my guesstimate with the limited information that I have on what your declaration will be this coming Wednesday. All right, that's all I have for you. Have a nice weekend, and I will let you know the trades that come out Monday morning, and then how everything went Monday evening. Have a good night and a good weekend.